Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for Loopring. This was suggested by Xenophone, one of my subscribers, and it looks like it has potential to do some pretty big things. The count is very ugly, but I just want to show you the trade setup that is available. So I spent the last about 40 minutes checking this one out. And it is a very ugly structure, but there is possibility for pretty high upside. And I went over many different scenarios, and the best count I could come up with is what I'm about to show you. But if this works out, I would expect extensions on this for a third wave. How high yet, I'm not sure, but it could happen pretty quickly. Just a trade setup. I'm not trying to FOMO people in, but I'll just show you down the micro counts here. And obviously we're going to start our count at this low. Down at 15.92 cents. Now it's frustrating when you can't get clean counts and you have to go with the best guidelines you can find, but it does give you some pretty nice trade setup opportunities. You can see we got volume coming in. We have no divergence whatsoever on the daily. We are breaking previous resistance areas. I'm hoping for a little bit of a retrace here, but just wanted to show you that setup on the micro. Areas to watch for resistance, potential pivots, potential corrections. I have mapped out here between around 66 cents and 90 cents for the first one. Eventually, this point of breakdown up here at 122, 133. That lines up with the 0.618 retracement of the entire move to the downside. The question is, what will the wave count be at that time? And I wouldn't be surprised to see extensions, moving 300-400% for just this third wave. So we'll go down to this micro and show you what I got mapped out. Again, it's very ugly, but we have to pay attention to price action, what we're getting at this potential area. I'll first have a diagonal mapped out, not the prettiest. We had this flash crash, if you remember. I don't consider that the low. I consider the low over here, going by candle closes as a WXY. And threw on a pitchfork there as well, marked out our breakout area as well. Now the tough count is right in here. I counted all our waves, and the best way I can count this, I'll show you the extension pulls. So first of all, on the larger degree, I look between the 618 and the 1-to-1 extension, which is this zone here you can see in blue, for a second 1-2. Try and find the best count possible. First I thought it might be right here at the 618, but this is all chop we got. There's not a diagonal in there, and we're getting 5 waves up after that, so that can't be the count. That was the ideal scenario. And secondary, the best I can come up with, which is the primary, is this ends up being a expanded diagonal to start us out, which is rare, but in very bullish scenarios it does happen. You can see we even got extended. Our third I have as an expanded flat, but that hit the 1.618, but then we got super extended for our fifth. Third is not the shortest wave, and these are a series of zigzags. You got A, B, C, A, B, C, expanded flat, A, B, C for our fifth. Very short wave 2. But why I consider this as plausible is we got zigzags up for a wave 1. Yes, we got a short 2, but this looks like 5 waves up. So if that's 5 waves up and this is impulsive, chances are we're moving up to the upside. What's nice about that trade setup is this is our line in the sand right here, this wave 2 low. I'm going to mark that out as well. But you can see a lot of times on these breakouts, we don't get ideal structures. We have to go with the best fit guidelines, find our invalidation levels, and a good spot for a potential entry. So that's our line in the sand, and this would be a third 1-2. on the absolute micro. I'm trying to figure out what scale we're working on for RSI. The larger trend, we're working on the 4 hour, it looks like. But we're just impulsing up, so this wave would probably be the 15-minute. Yep, we found around the 40. Look for the 40 and the 50 for our fourth wave, which we got there. So looking for this to correct very shortly. We get a 4-5, come back down, drop below 40 on the RSI on the 15-minute, and probably find support on the 1 hour. So if we can come down, get our support at the 40 on the 1 hour, that's what I would look for. I don't use RSI that often, only in these scenarios, looking for entries or exits. So if that's the case, go step by step here. I need a new keyboard. I've got a Bluetooth keyboard and it's not very responsive. I want to get one that that is actually connected to the computer. It's like Bluetooth, and it takes me a couple times of smashing it to get it to work. So let's see if we have any ideal extensions on this possible third 1-2. It looks like we got extended as well. Yep. Looks like... See, I'm just using my guidelines here for time, and it looks like these are... Come on. Looks like these are matching corrections. So it looks like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. There might be a micro in there because that looks like a third wave tie. This could be a truncation or double bottom. 1, 2, 3. No overlap there. No overlap. That looks like our 3, 4, and potentially 5 complete on the micro. If we look at that, we can get 5 waves up as well. No overlap. Okay. I only do that because we didn't hit the ideal extensions, so we have to make sure everything's valid. I know it appears I'm going very quick. I've just trained my eye to do this stuff very quickly. So it looks like an extension in our third, or we got some sort of WXY here. That would be a expanded flat X and like a zigzag if our third wave is actually here and this was our, we didn't get a truncation. Hard to say, right? But either way, we're right at that area. We would expect our wave 5 to come. So if this is 3 1-2s back to back, what's nice about this trade setup, and we could get a little bit extended up here, come check out the edge of our pitchfork, but I'm going to end up pulling my fibs from this area, low to high. Move that over. And ideally we might even get a 236, we'll see. Oh, probably a 382. So, standard setup. Looking between, probably I'll do a half buy at the 382, half at the 50, stop past the 618. Average of the two prices, and I'll look to leverage up once it starts trending our way, triggering in buy orders above, raising my stop. But as you can see, it's a very clear invalidation level, 38.9 cents. Pretty nice tight stop setup for this to become invalidated. You can see it's an ugly count. It's not highly reliable, but the trade setup is there. Very tight stop, invalidation at this level before I'd have to recount as more something corrective. But sometimes that's all we get in the market, right? So this is what I'm looking for. This to be a 1, 2, and again that would be 3 1-2s in a row. I don't like doing more than 3 1-2s in a row. It's more likely corrective after that. So either this pans out and starts running, or it's likely something corrective. But the trade setup is there, and very difficult to know extensions at this moment, because it would come well past the first 1-2 in blue extensions. We wouldn't be looking for a third wave at the 1.618. We'd be pulling from the second 1-2, which came just shy of the 1-to-1, which is obviously very, very high. Our third wave would come up around 144. Get our fourth at around the 100, and our fifth would come way up here, and that would be our third. So we'd come probably near the 2.618, even the 3.618 on in blue, if this ends up working out. Maybe not quite that high, but that's the trade setup. It looks quite nice if you get something like that. Remember, stop past the 0.618 way up here. It's about a 20-to-1. So that's what I'm looking at here. Again, not trying to read the future, not saying this is 100% going to happen, but that's how tight our setup is based on the most logical count in the bullish scenario I can grasp. All right, guys, so that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.